With it right here with who I started with, be something like a Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, H-Way, Central Coast, mob and suicide. Only arsonist. I step in the booth and cast. I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music. I work hard at this.
That's right, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. You already know who it is. Hit that pinchy like, hit that subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, you got to hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time that we go live. Parked right outside. I'm in front of El Pino once again, parked right outside the Juvenile camp. And to keep it 100 with you, man, I wasn't even feeling it today. It was just one of those days that I didn't get a break. I'll say I was just go, go, go. But you know what? When I think of hesitating to come over here and talk to these youngsters, I snap out of it right away because I think about the people that came and gave me a word. And so I highly appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. That's right, 49er fan. I see you, my boy. That's right. Hit that pinchy like. It's open talk. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. Whatever the raza wants to talk about, we're going to talk about it right now. El Blanco Amale, hell no, my boy. Hell no, you're not. I just clocked out. Que hice? I went over here to the cemetery, went to go visit moms, grabbed the Jamba Juice real quick, went to go get some more paletas, went to go get some more paletas, but yeah, now I'm right here sitting outside the camp, and I said, you know what, I'm going to shoot the shit. This meeting is supposed to start at 6, but they're doing some kind of college class, and so as soon as this college class ends, then I'm gonna go back to the 6 o'clock. But now I'm at 7 o'clock, so I've been at 7 o'clock now for 6 weeks. I think it's a 6 week or 8 week class. But shout out to every one of the members only. Shout out to all my day oneers. You already know who you are, cabrones. From jump, from day one, you should know who you are already. That's right. That's right, my boy Tommy Thunder's in the casa, man. I appreciate you, Tommy Thunder. It's Friday. We're on Chicano Street. I'm outside the camp. I'm staring at El Pino right here outside the camp and about to go in there. But I got some time, so let's go ahead and get it. I'm not going to be able to go back to home base and shoot it, but let's go ahead and shoot it right now. What do you guys want to talk about? It's open talk. It's open live. I want to give a shout out to that cabron. Risky business, though. Gracias for coming on the channel. Cabron, you've been seeing it too, cabron. A lot of comments. A lot of comments, cabron. I'm going to have you on more often, cabron. Pinchy risky business, man. Shout out to you, Way. I appreciate you. That's right. The official Big Joe show is in the casa. Gente, do yourself the favor and subscribe over there to the official Big Joe show. He got it popping. He got it cracking over there. I mean, here's a Chicano that really transcended the calles, and now he's inside Chicano Hollywood. He's giving opportunities to gente that we can't get. So shout out to you, Big Joe, man. Gracias. That's right. Shadow Pit, that's right, my boy. I appreciate you, man. It's Friday night. Again, I was a little bit tired getting off of work, gente. I was like, oh, man. And I don't think next May is going to be 10 years that I've been coming to this camp right here. 10 years. And again, February was the first time I was tripping. Remember, I did that meeting and I talked about it on my live on Wednesday, where the first time I had my meeting here at this camp, right? Again, I've been here for 10 years. And all of a sudden I got four guards inside my meeting. And I'm like, I wonder what the guards are doing in my meeting. I'm just like, you know what? They're probably going to get off. They're probably, the wind is blowing. They're probably going to pack someone out. Something is up, right? I figure something is up. And it wasn't until the guard that walked me out told me. He goes, you know why? This is the first time in the institutions since I've been here, and he's been there 10 years. There's guards that have been here 20 years or more. And he said for the first time, everyone went to the meeting. Not one bunk, not one bed stayed in for the meeting. Now it's not even in. It's like a mini YA. These are like open dorms. But no one stayed on the rack. They all came to the meeting. I appreciate that. All the youngsters do is just spread the word. That's really what it is. That's right. The homie hangout is in the building. There's another Feederman channel right there. Man, you know what I wish? I don't even know if you're still listening, Raskizi. I wish you would have kept the reaction channel, cabron. Man, I like your reactions, cabron. Your sarcasm, your humor, the way you delivered it. not just because you're very intellectual, but I like the whole delivery. I wanted you to keep the reaction channel. I said it on a lot of videos, or at least a couple. I said that's my favorite reaction channel. Now it's true crime, um, and other things like that, right? Which I'm into too. I'm into too. You know what I mean? That's right. Orale, risky business. I appreciate you, cabron. I'm doing the good work. I'm doing some good work here. Next year is going to be 10 years coming up on this camp. I'm going over here. You know what's happened? It's only happened about 4 or 5 times, but it's never happened when after I did it live, but where I go in there and then I can't get inside the camp because they're on lockdown. Some youngsters pulled up, they were gonna get off or whatever. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're better off not knowing. Okay, this is mostly California shit. I guess how to say it, right? But that's right, risky business. That's right, cabron. You have to come back on. I think we left a lot of things unsettled, and we're gonna have to come back on. But Norby's is gonna come on the channel. Hopefully, Marvelous will be able to come on the channel. It's been all these collaborations have been long overdue. Been slacking off a little bit, huh? But you know what? We've been coming weekly consistently. So hit that like again. Right here, this is the most important work that I do, gente. This shit right here. This is not faking the funk. This is not being one way on the internet and another way in real life, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? He wants to start talking about he wants to talk about politics, and he got fired from politics. Make that make sense, somebody. That's right, Juan Hernandez. That's right, my boy. That's right, it's cowboy country. I can't wait. But of course, a lot of the partners, it's because what happened was if you lived around the fruit stand, and Farmero can attest to this, if Farmero's in the comment section, if you lived around the fruit stand, they ended up, which is East Salinas, they ended up busing us to the west side. So that's why I was a Bronco middle school and cowboy, right? If not, the rest of the partners all went to the Alisal because we're in the Alisal district for the most part. But they had a zone, the school on the west side, a little bit to the east, just maybe more population, maybe to even things out. But I'm a cowboy through and through. Are you going into the hall for a religious service? So it's not a religious service, but yes, the reason they let me, and it's not the hall, this is the camp. So the camp is was one step above the hall. Right here, these are the bangers. All these youngsters right here, most of them, 90% of them, gang bang. Their faces are blasted, necks, arms, heads blasted. O sea, fuck, it's already they already got a disadvantage in life. O sea, growing up in it and then having all their faces blasted. So here's the bangers. It's not the juvenile. The juvenile hall is where they steal CDs and or shit like that, right? Here are the bangers. So this is one step closer to YA. Now, when they brought him back to YA, my brother Josh, they put most of them here in this camp. So when my meeting, that first meeting, which was it was already like 2 years ago when they did this, right? When they shut down the YAs. I think it's already been 2 years, but I don't have the best memory. My wife has a real sharp memory. I think it's been years. Um, they brought all the youngsters from YA over here, and then what happened was they were coming to the meetings with black eyes. They were coming to the meetings with black eyes. They were running more fades, and so religious service. I the reason I do come in here also it helps me is that I am ordained through REMA. I'm ordained through REMA Bible Training Center, which is Brother Kenneth Hagin's ministry in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. It's a Word of Faith church. But yeah, they let me in because of that. But really, I've been here twice. I've been through these doors twice. So my pitch was all of that, but really my pitch was, someone's got to warn the youngsters of what the hell is laying ahead of them. These youngsters are striving to get on the chessboard, but they don't even know how the game is played, man. So someone like me comes in here and lets them know about the setup, about what's happening, what's gonna, what's to come. And I give them an example. I give them the one of my partner's son, who I seen since he was a baby. I seen him since he was in diapers, since he was in a car seat in the back of his car. But him, just like many others, didn't have a chance growing up. What do I mean? He didn't have a chance. All he saw was gang banging. And so he caught 2 life sentences before the age of 21. O sea, he couldn't even drink a beer before he pledged his full allegiance and went all the way. And so he caught one body in Merced, and then he caught another body in the ASU in Salinas Valley. It's a sticky situation, man. But at least I'm gonna do it. I didn't even feel up to it, man. I was tired getting off of work. I'm like, shit, man. But you know what? We got to do this. This is the real work. This is the real work. You're out there doing what others are talking about, carnal. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, carnal. I'm proud of you. Well, thank you, first off. But I'm proud of you for being inside of Hollywood, being on Hulu, this fool, streaming services, filming 3 movies at the same time. I mean, come on now. I don't want to get all the way back into that disrespect that Alvin did, but just know that Alvin has fully crashed out on the internet. He's fully crashed out on the internet. And he's doing what he does. He's doing what he does. He should have never proclaimed to be a leader, though, or any kind of role model at all. He should have just said, I'm a buck wild YouTuber that's going to do anything and everything he wants. And then no one would have called him a hypocrite. Should have never called the cops, on someone that's tagging in his neighborhood, and then the next day say he's solid and he's a real one. I just, that's the hypocrisy. So people remember shit, right? It's YouTube. The whole thing's recorded, cabron. We got Chemo's flicks, okay? He's gonna catch you slipping. That's right, saludos. That's right, Farbero. I appreciate you, my boy. I'm right here. I'm right outside the pinchy walls, man. See, you can see right there. Dale, cabrón. See, El Pino, that's El Pino right there. El Pino, right outside those gates. I'm going to go through those gates in a little bit. I appreciate you, Farmero. But Farmero was here. Me and Farmero were here when they just opened this place up. They opened it up in about August of 96. They needed to give Salinas a camp because, again, it's real froggy. Okay, back in those days, it was real froggy. There was a lot of fights. People were getting off left and right, and it was red on red. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna come up with maybe a members only video. My Chicano story part 8 is coming up. But also, I want to also come up with a members only video, sometime of the history of how I remember the whole thing's playing out and how it transitioned from a lot of red on red to all of a sudden blue started being seen. And I think it was American Me. It was about the time that movie came that all of a sudden you started seeing blue on the street. But that's members only shit, gente. We're going to keep it there. We ain't going to act like these motherfuckers on the internet with tank tops and showing ink and thinking they're bad, or be like, a pendejo like Dubs and be all calm, thinking, very philosophical. And then all of a sudden, every single video is beer, beer, beer. His eyes get lower, lower, and lower. And we got Chemos to catch the mamadas. He's going to end up on the YouTube Yarda Awards for sure. Respects to the whole chat. That's right, my brother Josh. I appreciate you. My brother Southtown SD, my bad, carnal. I've been meaning to get back to you. You already know how it is, man. Shit, man. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'll show you my calendar, cabron. There's not an hour that's free in todo el día. My bad, my boy. That's right. That's right, Big Joe. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. That's right, Mr. No Name. Mikey, I send mine to you. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right, Mr. No Name. That's right, cabron. I'll probably be doing more reactions moving forward, homie. That was my favorite reaction channel. It was my favorite. I just love the pitch, the delivery. And I know, on YouTube, I mean, I guess people try to avoid certain things, right? Like cheese man, or I'm talking about this, talking about that. At the end of the day, it's the fucking internet, bro. It's everyone's coming on the internet for entertainment. If this is not your cup of tea, keep it pushing. I believe people appreciate motherfuckers that are at least real, and keep it real. Because if you're not, you get called out on your bullshit. The internet, quick to point out people on their bullshit. I like your reactions, cabron. Whether you're reacting about an individual and all that, or a situation, I like the reactions, cabron. I was like, what else? Why you gotta rebrand, cabron? No, it's all good, my brother. And the wifey just came back, cabron, from Reno. She just came back from the Tia's house again, man. But I missed that boat. Tapping in my carnal. That's right. Mile High Hustle is in the casa. If you haven't heard the announcement again, gente, we got a banger on Thanksgiving. It's going down. I was telling Mile High in his chat, I said, this fight can go either way. You seen the Chinese Big Bang Zhang. Big Bang Zhang. He literally just clipped Deontay Wilder like on the edge of his nose and chin, just literally just grazed him. Boom. And that's all she wrote. And that's all she wrote. So that fight can go either way. I send mines over there to Mr. He posted, I think just a couple hours ago or an hour ago, about losing a pet. Man, that's crazy, man. Some people, they lose their pets like a dog, right? Like he lost a second dog like in a month, I think, or something. Um, I can't do that, man. I can't lose a pinche perro and then all of a sudden replace him with another one. It's like, bro, I'm still grieving and shit. Why would I never had a dog growing up. I never had no pets growing up. We're poor, okay? We're poor. We're in the food stamp line. I grew up in the welfare line. I grew up in poverty. I grew up with roaches. This is going to grow some people out. But I don't give a shit because a lot of people, they see the glory, but they don't know the story. Oh, fucking, you might think Mikey just got silver spooned and raised some kind of way if you're new to the channel and didn't know, but I grew up with roaches crawling on me, sleeping at night. What that does is it humbles me because since I come from nothing, I appreciate everything. And let that sink in. Good to see you, Southtown. That's right, homie. Hangout got you 30, got 30 on you, Conrad. Hey, homie hangout is one of those cabrones that's gonna be running a table, huh? You know what I mean? I bet. Let me ask him. I bet you when football was on and you were down back then, right? I know you've been retired a long time. Me too, cabron. But were you running pools, cabron? Were you running squares, selling squares, running pools? There's some cabrones. Those poker tables, you got to be careful, man. I seen a lot of people. It was either drogas or it was gambling that I seen so many motherfuckers get removed or roll up or they go to medical and they didn't come back in the building. It was either because of drogas and it was because of gambling. Um, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. I feel like giving like a Wes Watson message, right? Don't go. Then don't go. And if you go, don't gamble and don't do drogas in there. You're gonna get caught up, man. That's right, Mile High Hustle. I said, my boy. That's right, Southtown SD's in the casa. That's right, hermano. I appreciate you guys, man. Again, it's open talk. That's right, mi amiga Maxine Burrell. I appreciate you. Another amiga, La Puffy Guillen's in the casa. I appreciate you, amiga. I'm about to go inside the camp in a little bit. I gotta see now. I can see the clock. I got an hour with you guys, man. That's all good. Do they still have Silver Star Boys Ranch by the probation? Bro, they turned the old Boys Ranch. Yeah, the Boys Ranch that used to crack off way. I heard story from some OGs, right? And all of the OGs, correct me if I'm wrong, Farmero. All of the OGs in Salinas, they're gone. They're wiped away. Either the drogas got them, or they went so hard they ain't coming in and out. They're out completely. Either they're lost in the system, or the drogas got them. And I trip out. I mean, I see people taking photos with dudes that look like vets. Dudes that look like vets. Veteranos. I'm not talking about the army sense. I'm talking about the street sense. And I'm like, those individuals are very blessed. They have another chance at life. They have another opportunity to be around their family and loved ones. But what's a missed opportunity on their part is if they're not doing something positive. If they're still being out here, I'm the fucking man and I got the llaves and I'm solid homeboy and I don't hang around with bums and should have stayed your ass locked up because all you're going to do is influence the youngsters to do what you're doing is the negative. Real OGs are trying to pull youngsters out of the negative. It's like the youngsters now want to make a bag to get to get put on the set. And in my generation, they were trying to make a bag. They're already on the set. And then all of a sudden, they're trying to make a bag now just to get the hell out of the neighborhood, to get the hell out of poverty, of drive-bys, of shootings, of not being able to walk down the street without watching over your back. I mean, I remember there was instances like Farmero knows, when the Halloween massacre happened. They call it the Halloween massacre, right? 3 bodies in one night. Two gangs, right? It was red on red. That right there is its own story. And I know someone that knows that story firsthand, and I've been wanting to get him on the members only to tell that story firsthand. He just doesn't want to rehash it or put something out there. And I understand it. I respect it. But when that Halloween massacre went down, and Farmero probably knows the whole story, right? Um, all of a sudden, we had a meeting. Remember, we had a meeting over there at Smokey's house. We had a meeting at Smokey's house. I wasn't at the meeting. They had a meeting. I'm sorry. They had a meeting at Smoking House. I was in the back of Pablo and Little Man's house. That's where we used to hang out. Okay. In the back. But we're on Market. And in the back was Tip and Circle, Smokey. But they had a meeting and then they came back and they said everything that happened. And all of a sudden, it was funk season. Motherfuckers were now going to the liquor store to get a 99-cent can of Budweiser could get you blasted. Everyone is just hunting. So there's been crazy time. All that's members only shit, man. All that members only. That was the only camp we had, and it was free reign. I know what you mean when it was free reign, cabron. It's not free reign no more. It's not free reign no more. What you mean, Farmero, that it was free reign was when we came here, they mixed everyone up in a room. Remember? So you literally would have 3 guys from one set and 1 guy from a rival set in one room. And you would think, why the hell? It looks like a setup. It's like a setup. It looks like a setup from administration, but it wasn't. It was that the whole model, kind of like what we're doing now in CDCR. Have you noticed the mission statement has changed in CDCR? And they did that on purpose, right? They got mad. They lost the lawsuit. And I mean, Josh is here. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't study it, research it too much. But they're mad. They lost the lawsuit from all the big wigs that were in the shoes and slammed down validated for a lot of years. And they kicked everyone out. And then after that, they said, you know what? We're going to change our mission statement. And we're going to have a free-for-all in here. If they want to go home, if they want to act like honest, law-abiding citizens, let them start now. And let's put them around chomos. Let's put them on people that have testified, whatever the case is, right? Whatever the case is. And so they did that in retaliation, I believe. But it's not free reign no more, cabron. But it was back then. It was Caesar's Palace. I told these youngsters that story. I mix in a little bit of back history, because I know it furthers, it lengthens their attention span. If I just stay, like, say, when I get on the Bible, okay, now I'm talking the word, bam, 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 bam. And I'm going scripture, 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 scripture. They start chit chatting. They start talking to the homie over here. They start twiddling their thumbs and all this other shit. But all of a sudden, I get to a war story. They want to know. So I've told them, yeah, it was free reign, but not no more way. When we got here, when it opened, and I was in the first class. Were you in the first class? I was in the second class. And then I got reassessed, and then came back. I was in the second class. So I came in 97. And I want to say it was about the spring, maybe the early spring. It's not free reign no more. So it's not Thunderdome no more. Cabron. It's not even though they throw chingazo, but it's not Thunderdome. When we were here, it was Thunderdome, where everyone was just throwing chingazo, but it was no thing. I mean, it was just, we're youngsters, a bunch of youngster juice. That's right. Yeah, 2 dogs are family for real. Yeah, man. So man, and I put myself in his shoes. I'm not the kind that's gonna replace a pinche perro as soon as he dies, bro. What am I gonna have? A hole of a backyard full of holes? So it's like if I bought another dog when this one died, I'd be like, fuck, it's gonna happen again and again. So ahorita todavía tengo 3. Tenía 4, but I'm enjoying the 3. And my wife and my family, we're enjoying the 3. We got 2 that look like lions. They look like baby lions, especially Niner. I walk Niner, gente. I walk Niner. I got cars stopping left and right. Hey, to breed them. To breed them. And you know what? You know what I tell them? I say, you know what? I'm going to breed Niner. I'm going to breed them, but it's going to be $1,000 a date. It's gonna be 1,000. You want to go on a date with him, and you know what a date means, right? Date equals mate. Um, it's $1,000 a date. The wife he bought Niner, it was like he was like 3,500. I think it was like 3,500, and that's a reduced price because of COVID. If the price was not reduced because of COVID, Niner, and it was a breeder's ranch, I think in Visa, I think it was in Visalia, a breeder's ranch. If it wasn't for that, Niner would have been 5,500, 6,500, easy, because he's purebred and they got the paperwork. I mean, they got the birth certificate. That's my 30 homie hangout. Speaking of rascals, I don't know what's going on right there. You missed me. I don't know. I just hit the comment. I don't know what's going on. Flip C. That's where our cornflakes and the raisin brands. The raisins would run, then the lights would come. Peachy Flipsies in the casa. That's right, man. So again, I'm sitting outside the camp and I'm about to go in here, talk to the youngsters. No sentía, man. I even called my wife and I told her, I said, honey, I don't even feel like it. I've never flicked on the youngsters in 10 years. The only time I haven't been in here is when there was a lockdown because they got off. There was a little riot or something. And this was just, this was the first time in 10 years. Well, 10 years next May. But this was a couple months ago. Remember? I said it on my live. It was in January or February. I went here and the guard, and he was really respectful. Farmero probably remembers him. Munoz. You remember Munoz, cabron? Farmero, you remember Munoz? He used to be in B unit and he always used to walk around and he used to go like this with his pinchy handcuffs and swing his handcuffs. And he used to walk up and down Juvenile Hall. And, you know, we're in Juvenile Hall, no one was a window warrior. No one just stood at their windows. We weren't institutionalized, so we weren't just watching everyone that was, coming in. We're youngsters. We're teenagers, We had Klecha, though. We ain't gonna be riding like the runner. And he went to YA and fucking ratted on everyone that socked him. But then people say he's a real one. I'll leave that to you guys. But anyways, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. That's right. Sea Dogs in the casa. That's right. He's an original day oneer right there. That's right. My boy Conchtepec. Cabron used to clean up for football and prison parlays all day. I can tell you're a hustler. I jumped on your live stream last night, cabron. I didn't know. My bad, cabron. You know what I mean? But now I'm notifications all ever since the pelea way. I see you got that money stream going on. Now you're speaking my language, said the taxi driver on rush hour. Facts, Mikey. All the OGs are lifers now are strung out. It's a sad scene. Yeah. You know what? I lived Farmero, do you know the Saldivars? The Saldivars, I lived 3 doors down from the Saldivars, right? When we moved from the fruit stand to Soledad Street, about early 90s, I'm sorry. The Saldivars are over there. One of the Saldivars' uncle, he's mentioned in a lot of books. A lot of books. His nickname was Perico. Okay, I think his name was Larry, Uncle Larry. So one of my close friends, my best friend in elementary school, that was his uncle, right? Tino, my best friend Tino. And that was his Uncle Larry. I don't know on which book. Either it was Boxer's book or it was cops, politicians, and that dude's Gabe, Officer Gabe, whatever his name is in one of those books. They said Perico Saldivar had over 40 bodies. Over 4. I'm like, but the thing is, cabron, back then, I think, because Salinas was headquarters, when you walked in the pinchy place and you said you were from Salinas, you were held to a way higher standard. I'll say, they figured you already had a razor blade in your mouth. They figured you already had the pedazo hoop, dispensa. They figured you were trained up and ready to go. And that's right, because they would train you up even from the county, But yeah, most of them got strung out on drugs to the youngsters. That's what it is. Who's calling the shots? Drug addicts. They're calling the shots. That's why they don't want no riots, because they want to stay out there programming. The carga's coming through. Everything is flowing. Whoever's going to fuck that up is going to end up with a zipper right on his face. And that's true. But I don't remember. There's no more OGs out. There ain't no more OGs out, man. YouTube Streets is in the casa. That's right. I appreciate you. I don't know who from YouTube Streets. I know you guys have multiple people. My boy Dylan, AZ Ruction. That's right, my boy. or a new age plug, man. Shout out to the YouTube guys, man. I tap in over there every so often. That's right, my boys. I appreciate you guys. They were proponents of Buzz. Man, Buzz got his first round on. If Buzz would have kept that cardio for 4 more rounds, Cholo Trucker, you would have seen Cholo Trucker in trouble. In trouble. If they were to rematch that with maybe a 3-month training camp, and Buzz were just to disappear to the hills with the elevation mask, what I did when I lost my first fight. I wanted him so bad, I got my money back. Disappear to the mountains, elevation mask, get your money, come back in here, and do the damn thing. That's right, all good. Majority got deemed or crossed up to. That's what I'm saying. I just trip out. The veteranos don't know how blessed they are if they're still out on the street. Now, some people don't understand this. Why do they call them veteranos? Why do they call them veteranos? Um, it's because it does have its own. I mean, there's certain criteria you have to have, right? Um, like veterans in the military. Okay, they weren't just kids; they were adults. You know, what I mean, they could have started as kids. Maybe the laws were different back in the 30s, 40s, but they're adults, so they transferred from one to another, but kept serving their country. Veteranos in the street sense is the similar thing. They lost their youth, they used it up like we all did. Like I have a primo, and he blasted someone right outside of high school in 10 years, you know, as a kid. Another primo, 13 years as a kid. And then it transfers over into adulthood. Okay. So anyone that calls Alvin, he's an OG. It transfers. You have to have stepped into the adult system, because the adult, and you don't have to, don't be a pendejo and go. Gente, that's not what I'm saying. Don't get me out of context. I'm just saying the full seasoning, the full lacing up, the full education of the streets, of the walls, comes when you transcend and go over into those institutions. That means adult institutions. So it makes sense for me that Alvin just wants to, fuck, no suckers allowed. He reminds me of the youngsters that one time, 2 times I seen when I hit the county. Um, the youngsters came from YA. They got transferred. I don't know how the hell it happened. They got transferred from YA. And I just remember one time, I forgot where we were at. It was J Pod or iPod, one of the pods or whatever, right? And the youngsters did something out of pocket. I can't even remember, man. It was so long ago. But they whooped his ass. That youngster is lucky he got an ass whooping for how loud he used to bark and how much he used to stick his chest out. Not bigger than the program. YouTube streets, that's right, my boy. Or get whacked. Wait, man, I don't know. Sometimes the youngsters ask me those stories, right? Craziest story you seen, Mike. Craziest riot. Crazy as this. Bro, the reason I have a members only, but talking about that shit, it'll take you back to a dark place, man. It'll take some people back to a dark place they don't want to remember. All the fucking chaos, oh man. That's crazy, man. Then you got pendejos on the internet proponing it. That blows me away. Warriors for Christ, that's right, my boy. Cristo vive, that's right, my boy. Testimony is 20% bad, 80% God, my brother. That's right, my boy. That's right. I appreciate you. $1,000 a date has me laughing. Say, um, I'm a pimp 'em. I'm a pimp niner, cabrón. They keep pulling me over every time I'm walking. They want niner. They want niner. They have females for niner. O sea, they're throwing their females at niner. I'll probably post a picture of them in the community page. I'll probably post a picture of them, but yeah, for sure. That's right. $1,000 a date, bro. They want niner. You know what I mean? It's $1,000 a date to mate. Is this a norteño channel? Nah, you got it fucked up, cabrón. You got it fucked up. If you don't know my history, a lot of people do see it. It's an up north channel or something like that. Homie, don't play that. And all I'll say is this, man. The real recognizes the real. Even these youngsters that I'm about to go talk to right now, they can tell who's a real one just from the energy. It's all energy. Is this guy trying to put a cuete in my hand and send me down that road to do work? Or is he, because he's been there and he stared at that wall for so many fucking years and was in the madness for so many years trying to steer the youngsters away? So absolutely not. Now, do I follow certain channels that are all the way active? Yeah, I do. from any side, north or south. It don't matter. Whatever's entertaining to me, because this is YouTube and it's all entertainment. But is this a hard line pushing channel? Absolutely not. Now the youngsters, when I see them in the hood, like when I go to the In and Out, the In and Outs in the hood, um, do they respect it? Absolutely, they respect it. Absolutely. They still call me the nickname. I'm not gonna say it, and all this other shit. But I make that distinction. Nothing should really carry over from YouTube in the real, because you should want to be in the real life. And I'm glad the youngsters nowadays, at least, fuck, they open their ears. We didn't. The term active should have been a term for us in the 90s, because we weren't even staying out a month. When I see these youngsters and they say they're active, okay, but they're getting jobs, they're going to college, which are all good things, but they're doing this, I'm like, then you're not active. Then you're not active. Because if you're active, there's plenty of enemies 24/7, 365 out there. There's enemy hoods 24/7, 365 ready to run the fade or ready to take you to whatever level you want to take it to. So why go to college? Why get a job? That's what I'm just saying. I don't know. It was funny the first time I heard the word active, and I'm like, okay, and you've been out 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years. It's different now. It's just different, and I'm glad they're doing those things. Don't get me wrong, but that term active should have been something for us, because we weren't even staying out 60 days. 90 days. If I was out 90 days back in the 90s, I would sit back on my bunk after I caught another case, and I would think that was a good run. I would think that was a good run. It was all bullshit. It was all a waste of time, man. Is that a cornflake or what, man? Tap in, man. Tap in. Keep on listening, cabron. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You see the glory, but you don't know the story, bro. But it's all good. If you want to join the members only, it's $5.99, $7.99. Maybe what you will find in the members only is what guides you, leads you to other channels on YouTube. But for me, I'm gonna put that shit out there. I ain't putting none of that shit out there. You want it? $5.99. Members only. You want to hear some shit? Assuming the elites are aware, they're popular. Big money interests are using lawfare as fake on Trump. Yeah, so here's the thing, gente. People don't realize this, okay? Trump, Uncle Trump, 45, 70-something year. His whole life, he has never caught a felony or he has never caught a misdemeanor. His entire life. His entire life. But all of a sudden, he runs for president and he gets over 40, 50 charges and felonies. Come on. Somebody help me make it make sense. That's right, my boy Big Puppet is in the casa. Speaking of OGs, here's a rare instance that we have one in the comment section. I appreciate you, my boy. Shout out to you. I follow you on IG, cabron. I see how the kids are in college. I see how you're drilling or I don't know what you do, engineering or building. Cabron, you came from the gutter. I looked up to Big Puppet. This man right here, when I was 13 years old in Chinatown, slinging crack, yes, slinging crack. This man, he looked out for me. He protected the youngsters. He was already 19, 20. You were already on parole, right, cabron? He was already super seasoned and laced up. But this is a definition of an OG. Follow him on IG and you'll see. And someone else will be like, nah, that's this, that's that, that's lame. You'll find out. One day, hopefully, the light will turn on and you'll find out. Kentucky parlays all day. Cabron, I actually won a pool back in the day, choosing Kentucky Wildcats for basketball, college. I won a pool. And after I won that pool with Kentucky, I kept them my team. And when we went to Kentucky the other week, I bought a college shirt because the airports are full of them, right? I'm like, oh hell yeah! On the way back, I said I'm gonna buy one. I bought a t-shirt. You seen it? I took some photos of it. A badass UK t-shirt. Gabe Morales, yeah. So Gabe Morales, I think he put it in there that the Saldivars that lived on the corner of like Soledad and San Luis, they had that White House. They were right across the street from the halfway house. right across the street from the halfway house. There was a halfway house right across the street. That was a blue Victorian building. And they were right across the street. And the house was, there was always activity going on there. Oh, yeah, there was parties. They're lifting weights. There was pinteros there. So Soledad Street was, because I had the halfway houses and stuff, you would always see, and I'm a little chavalito, 8, 9, 10, 11, I can't remember. Seeing these pinteros walk down the street with the garbage bags. Hey, I'm looking for Hank. Hey, I'm looking for Art. Hey, I'm looking for Letty. Hey, whatever. Yeah, let's go. I'll take you over there. And I knew that there would be a party that night because this dude just came out. I mean, I just knew, right? It was what it was. No gas. That's right, cabron. If Buzz remembered to keep his hands up, it could have been different respected credit show. Bro, the only reason people back up, well, not the only reason, but the main reason people back up, the main reason people drop their hands is because they're sucking air out of their toes, bro. They don't got the wind. So that's if you're going to go the distance. 2 light guys, I didn't expect the knockout. I did not. November, that I expect a knockout. Okay, that I expect a knockout. And again, to Tony, hey, no love lost to you, cabron. You haven't dropped the video in a month. I'm privy to things I'm not gonna put on YouTube about your situation. And hopefully you don't get no bad blood or whatever once you get around to texting me or calling me. It just was what it was. Way you ghosted me for a couple weeks. I had to keep the business moving. That's it. Mi amiga Maxine Barrelas in the casa. Giving shouts out to Farmero. Is the military recruiting station still in Natividad Road? Best woman in our country in Salas. I know I was their recruiter. Saludos. Bay to VA. So it's not. The recruiting station now is across the street from the Northridge Mall. It's right next to it was Modern Cuts. The Primo has a shop right there, Street Beats. It's right in that little plaza, Street Beats. I call him Primo, but he's not really a Primo, but he has Diaz's last name and it's blasted on the window. So I've always been calling him Primo. He's seen me since the late 90s when he set up his shop to the early 2000s. In, out, in, out, in, out. Crazy. I regret so much losing a lot of those CDs, like the gumbo mixes from T-Ski, DJ, I forgot what, they were from the Bay Area. Oh my, I had about 20 gumbo mix CDs. I lost them all. I regret it. They don't make bangers like that no more. I don't give a shit who's popping right now or whatever. They don't make slappers like that no more. They don't. That's right, Farmero. That's right. Did that youngster learn his lesson? Are you talking about the one that got 2 life sentences? A buddy of mine's son? Um, I don't think so. No, I think he's still pushing. You know, I think it takes a few years of staring at a cement wall. A few years jumping off that rack, 4:30, rolling up the mattress, programming, bird bathing before the door. It takes a few years, and also your family dying. It takes your mom dying, your dad dying, sister dying. It takes grandparents dying. So it takes a couple years to realize that I didn't know what I signed up for. I really didn't. No one told me. But guess what? Mikey is here to tell you. I'm about to walk in, and I've been next year, May will be 10 years me coming to this camp. I tell them, don't do it. Don't go there. You can still, this is one chapter of your story, but don't make it the whole pinchy book. Do what the youngsters are doing, a lot of them, which is they're getting jobs, they're getting careers. They call themselves active. Again, I'm not knocking the youngsters. That probably should have been something they should have called us in the 90s because we weren't staying out 60 days. We didn't give a shit about jobs, careers. We're coming out in the newspaper. We're coming out on the 6 o'clock news. And that's how we knew, oh shit, again, oh, he'll be gone for 5 years, 10 years. Oh, he'll be gone, he'll be gone, he'll be gone, he'll be gone. I'm glad the youngsters now, though, aren't like that. I'm glad because it's a different time. It's a different time. Who knows what it would be pinchy behind the walls right now. I heard they're giving a piece of bread for breakfast. I heard they're giving 2 sack lunches now. Breakfast and lunch, I heard, are both sack lunches. And the only hot thing you're going to get is at the end of the day. Dang. So that bottled up with all kinds of tension, bottled up with the llavero, the one that probably has the pod. is probably validated, and he's pissed off because he's been down for 15, 20 years, and all he's looking to do is stir shit up and use these youngsters like pawns. That's what I'm telling these youngsters. That's what I'm going to remind these youngsters one more time when they decide to strive and keep striving when they get out. Again, to each his own. You do you. I'm not here to talk anyone out of nada. Like we think of people who make fun of homeless or tweakers. Well, I mean, why make fun when you can help? Homeless, I mean, shit. Sometimes they're homeless by choice way. A lot of these homeless don't want to live in shelters way. Why? Because a shelter gives them rules, and they tell them you can't bring all that personal property that they got. So they don't want a structured life. A shelter will connect you with resources to get your life back on track. People don't like that. So some people are homeless by choice, and some people aren't. I've heard some fucked up stories, man. One time I heard a story, the homeless guy, he was a lawyer. He had two houses, a wife, two beautiful children. He was a lawyer. His wife passed away and he got into drugs and is spiraled out of control. And he's living in Chinatown in a tent now. That's a common story. Okay, yeah, just because he was a lawyer, he was a little bit more known, he was in the yellow pages, whatever. Not everyone's story is going to be known like that, but that's a common story. And as far as tweakers go, I mean, well, fuck, when you're a tweaker, what do you got coming, way? You need to snap out of it. It's crazy that the drug can control the person. Like back when I was 19, I got caught. Well, me and my Ray Reezy, shout out to Ray Chicano. We got caught. We're at El Dorado Park. There was like 4 or 5 of us. They rolled up on us. We didn't even see the Judas. Boom, they rolled up on. We had back then they used to sell those Corona long necks. They're like 32 ounces. There would be 6 in a box. We got like 4 of those boxes. We're pisteando with the boom box, whatever. They rolled up on me. Boom. I got possession of alcohol as a minor. They had me go to the sheriff's department and watch a video of all kinds of car accidents. Sauce. And it was what it was. I mean, but the alcohol never consumed me because you can go years without drinking. Just like if you get behind the walls, you'll go years without using. But then they say there's some addicts that go years without using and then come back and they pick up where they left off. And that's why I tell the youngsters, I said, the hood's always going to be there. Chinatown's always going to be there. The drogas are always going to be there. But what about you? Are you always going to be there? Come on. Irony Fisticuffs. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. I'm way behind in the comments, you guys. Si se puede podcast. Right. So you mess with even people that are no good. There he goes. So this is what I was talking about. When I was at the Home Depot, I think it was yesterday, right? Here's the thing. Good, no good. I give 2 fucks about that. Especially when it fucks with your money and your bag. So imagine me as a businessman. As a businessman, does that make sense for me to ask my clients, where's your paperwork? Are you good or you no good? Does that make sense? Or how about my colleagues when they want to go to Cabo San Lucas on a boat and say, you know what, we work hard, we play hard out there. But before I get on that boat, I want to check everyone's paperwork. So some of us get on YouTube here again because of these motherfuckers like the Runner and Dubs and this, or Alvin and the Chipmunks, paperwork. He wants to ask people for paperwork, but doesn't want to show his. He said that he blasted at 2 Judas and an enemy and got a YA violation. Yeah, I'll hold. That's why Sonny wants that paperwork. But again, there's levels, I guess is the saying. There's levels. No, Alvin will never be able to get on my level. Never. You know, he tried to get on that level, which is being a humanitarian, helping out the city council and shit like that. But then he got fired. And then he has the audacity to talk about the city council. I'm like, if there was a troll, I wish someone from the city on IG would troll the shit out of him and be like, if I were you, I'd keep anything that has to do with the city council out of your mouth because you got fired for excessive absences. You pledged allegiance that you're going to help the people and then turn your back on the people with no explanation. But he's solid, right? Yeah, I'll hold. Good stuff, real man. That's right, Big Stomps. I appreciate you, cabron. I got about 30 minutes left, man. Let's keep it running. You said run the fade. Yeah. They were, well, that's a new term, right? That's a new term. We didn't talk much, man. Back in the 90s, it was chingazos, but you knew it was on. We would give each other 5 feet of space. That means when you're about to get it on, the whole day room will stand up. The two cabrones will give themselves space. There was no sucker shit. You know, Alvin was talking about the other day, no suckers in here. No suckers. You sucker punch people. To me, that's a sucker. When you need to, when the first chingazo in a head up fade is a sucker punch, because you need to get the advantage on the other person who's a civilian, like Norby's. I mean, come on, Norby is, that would have been like a fucking Kirby vacuum salesman knocking on the studio door, and you're all up in your feelings and you sock him. But anyways, you say on that first punch, you'd be like, hey, is that your wallet? Boom. Or hey, boom. Sucker shit. But I guess he's a real one. I don't know. But I'm smart as vato. Pues I'm not, my chicanismo, I did not learn in college. My chicanismo, I did not get indoctrinated by. My raza, my cultura, and everything, I got self-taught from the barrio, from the neighborhood. That's why I don't lean this way, lean that way. Like risky business. Last time, pinchy risky. He's trying to put me in a box last time. Oh, Trump supporter. Are you a Trump supporter? Wait a second. The only reason I don't like that term is because to me, that means a perpetual thing. Something that no matter what the person does, I'm going to ride or die for him. So in that sense, no. But at heart, who am I? Easy. Because Mexicanos, Chicanos are conservatives at heart. When you tell a Mexicano to take God out of all the picture, to take God out of the schools, to take God out of the money, to take God out of the family, or risky business says something last time that I don't agree with, you got to take the person you're voting for's religion out of it. I disagree with that respectfully. That's why I'm in my pinche corazon, and I didn't get taught anything. I just said, wait a second. This group is God-fearing. That is not. I'm not saying I belong to any group because, again, they got plenty of motherfucking Republicans that are the same or just as bad as across the aisle. They're the ones, también, that are part of the perpetrating for the children getting abused. How do you end up getting $100,000-$200,000 salary to serve on Congress and retire in 4 years, 8 years as a multimillionaire? How? Make it make sense, man. As a homie little Timmy said, I'm not active in the streets, I'm active in the sheets. Beachy Bigfoot, man. That's why I needed to laugh and stuff like that. I needed to laugh, man. Yeah, I just, and the youngsters have heard me tell this story, right? I had a youngster that, are you active? The first time I heard that, right? And I was like, what does that mean? And I go, oh, I know what it means. Like, I kind of like, maybe, are you down? Or I still, it wasn't registering to me, right? But it's a different time. They're not going as reckless as we used to go, man. As we used to go. But again, there was a little bit of a different time back in the 90s too. There was more organization, there was more structure. You couldn't just go to the store and buy Ben Davis and say I'm on the set and nobody knows you and make a social media profile. You couldn't just do that, walk up and wear colors. Because the first thing we'll do is we'll question who, and then we'll question, did you walk the line? And who was on that line? So it's a different time, man. It's a different time. What are your thoughts on Ryan Garcia getting kidnapped by the government? He escaped. Chingado, cabrón. I don't know that to be true, but some of the things that he says, I know are true. Again, not 100%, let me say 99.9, because I believe those things exist as far as they're abusing children, they're trafficking, they're doing this and that. But that he got kidnapped, I don't know. The main word, Ryan Garcia, gente, he's quirky. He's quirky. That's the word for him. Don't try to put him, he's not the typical Chicano. I could tell he didn't grow up getting his ass whooped, disciplined, or susceptible to none of the street shit. Ryan Garcia, he's quirky, man. He's his own individual. You know what I mean? He's his own individual. So that's just, leave that dude alone. I don't give a fuck. It's on the videos, homeboy. Mikey says tramping. I try to be, bro. No, but it's okay. Let anyone say whatever they want. Maybe they're used to the active channels, and all this other shit. The real will recognize the real 10 out of 10 times. You just have to sense it, gente. You just know the biggest knock. I don't know if Farmero's still in the casa. Farmero, do you remember Crackers? That was Raymond Campa's cousin, Eddie. Crackers. He's the neighborhood knockout artist. I seen him one hit quit at least 4 or 5 people. Okay, at least 4 or 5 people, either on the streets or in school. The neighborhood knockout artist. One hitter quitters. Back then, he was just skinny with braces, and everyone in the 90s was way bigger. I mean, way bigger. I don't know if the moms drank too much coffee nowadays or what. They're popping out kids that are pencils. But anyways, there was football player sized dudes. And I seen him knock 4 or 5 guys. I saw him the other day at Costco pushing a cart, dressed in like a jogging suit, with his girls. And I'm like, this cabron, people will walk by him and never know that this guy was deboing people in school and on the streets. It's called maturing, gente. It's called maturing. Michael Mara, that's right, my boy. I appreciate you, Michael Mara, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We got a lot of new faces here. This is Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. This is what we do every single week. We got the Wednesday. Gente, another thing crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I know we do the Chicano Hour with Miss Chicano Tube, but I'm thinking of changing the Wednesday night show permanently to the Chicano Hour. The reason I want to do that is before another pendejo wants to do a weekly show, and then my Chicano hours are far and few in between, and then he'll want to argue that that this and that. I'm thinking of changing the Friday night show indefinitely to the Chicano hour. I don't know why, that just crossed my head today. Well, Nancy Pelosi is scot-free and has no charge for inside trade. Nancy Pelosi got caught during COVID inside a beauty salon while she's telling other people to stay at home, but she had to get her highlights. And I don't know if you know this, but Nancy Pelosi dumped millions of dollars into Zoom the February before COVID, gente. Make that make sense. Friends help a friends, right? It was a whole fucking setup. And guess what? Because the people listened to them when they created this so-called emergency, guess what they'll do next time to get the people to follow them one more time? Create another emergency. Wait a second, the monkey fever. Wait a second, the plague. There's something and they'll do what Blue Dildo does. What Blue Dildo did. They'll call everybody. The Blue Dildo said he called the Mexicanos, the Chicanos, the blacks, the whites. Run this, run this, run this. Blue Dildo said this. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll do a Blue Dildo. They'll call everyone. All the newspapers run this shit. And they'll run it. Now people are scared and running for toilet paper again. That's fucked up. That's right, my boy Sanjo Lifer. I appreciate you, carnal. I appreciate you, my boy. Got about 20 minutes left, gente. Man, I didn't even feel like coming, to keep it honest, man. It was a long, pinchy day. I feel like when people ask me what I do for a living, sometimes I tell them I talk. You know what I need? I need one of these. I just picked these up before I came. Moon rocks, paleta. I need one of these, man. But it's always business before pleasure. Never backward, gente. Get that straight, because what happens is if you mix the pleasure with business, you won't execute on the high level. I got to always be ready to get that phone call and make a power move or do this or that. I always got to be ready. So wait till I get to the chante. Mi amiga Boss Lady's in the casa. That's right. I appreciate you, mi amiga Boss Lady. You know what? Stay tuned in, Boss Lady, because most of the ladies I end up wrenching up in the comment section, even though it's very respectful here. We're not like the Runners Live or Dubs is Live, where they disrespect ladies all day long. They talk about their pipas and this and that in front of ladies. In front of ladies, those pendejos right there, they burn themselves. But stay tuned in, Boss Lady. I'll wrench you up once I get back to my laptop. Because I like all the ladies, if I miss the comments, to at least be able to defend themselves. And if some pendejo is talking shit, hit the 3 dots and whack them. But we got a lot of other moderators that are in here también. Keep up the positive vibes. I try, cabron. I think why people fuck with me is because they know I got that background, but it's just We don't put it out there like that because it's glorification, is boasting. To, if you want to make a career out of anything, I'm not talk you out of shit. You do you. I did too many fucking years, and 20 at least. I gave 20. I mean, just loyal without even saying anything, just following suit. I get at least 20 and then 10 in those fucking walls. And I come out here and I'm not like these pendejos on here. This happened, that happened. I'm out here on YouTube saying it was a complete fucking waste of time. I lost my father. I lost my grandmother. I almost lost my mother. That probably would have broke me. But at least I had a loving wife that was visiting all the time, that was supporting me, and my children were the reason I kept going. I mean, I even came home and the wife was like, "Oh, you want to we'll do a party and da and so everyone can." What? I don't even want that. I didn't even want that. I got dropped off at the Pinchy Greyhound station over here on high control. I was supposed to salir el sábado, but they put me on high control, and it was Labor Day weekend, so I wasn't going to be able to touch down till Tuesday. That got me pissed. Those extra 72 hours. So never again. Never again. But the members only, for those that want to hear that kind of stuff, the members only, $5.99. You'll hear about the removals, the county, the juvenile, the camp, the getting jumped in, the massacres, the shootings, when the climate changed in Salinas. And that's what I mean by that is when the Sureños really started popping out on the streets. All of those I know would get a shitload of views on YouTube. A shitload of views. Those are stories like the runner talks about. So I don't want to be in that fucking group as an overgrown kid being on here, because real recognize real. Would you think I'm a real one if you just saw me over here and I'm this and I'm that and all that? But what am I doing? Living on fucking food stamps? Living in my fucking mom's basement still? Come on now. Oh, that's right. I know that's right. My boy Rodolfo, that's right, my boy. That's right. ACP's in the casa. That's right. ACP is in the house. ACB Kesrick, what's up, my raza? My boy, let me know. Drop a link. Let me know. Like I said, I'm going to back you up, cabron. All the time. That's real talk. Orale, see, dog. I appreciate you, cabron. HCR 260, proof of system. Red states make it okay to detain you if you look legal. Is HCR 260 proof of systemic racism in America? Red states make it okay to detain you if you look illegal. I'm not certain on that. That could be a policy, cabron. You know, because you're on the border. Who else would know shit about the border than Risky? Risky's on the Beachy border, right there, the Texas Beachy American border. Now, what did you say, cabron? That you said the border was secure. I highly disagree with you. Under 45, President Trump recorded. This is only what's recorded. We don't know cabrones that go over the mountains, escape the coyotes, go through the fucking field. We don't know none of that shit, right? But under 45, 1.7 million migrated. Those are recorded numbers, okay? Under this administration, not migrated, but there's so many people coming through, and 90% of them are not Mexican. Now, let's say 80. To be fair, 80% of them are not Mexican. They're coming on boats. They're coming fucking paddling. They're coming from whatever, because now's the time to get in, because they know the border's not secure. Now people get mad. Oh, the wall. Oh, the wall is symbolic of. Why does the wall have to be symbolic of shit? All the walls gonna. Guess what's gonna happen when a fucking wall gets built, cabron? Guess what's gonna happen? Those fucking traffickers that buy children, that show up at the border with 30, 40 kids that aren't theirs, aren't going to be able to get across no more. Because guess what? They're going to be met with the fucking border, with the fucking wall. What it's going to do is force immigration to go through a process. Now, motherfuckers can make it quick or they can make it slow. Are they ever going to fix immigration? Hell no. It's a great 4-year issue. Let's bring it up every 4 years. So right now, like Alvin, this fucking channel is like the border channel. The border. He doesn't even know that he's getting played out of pocket. He's talking about the border and arguing about he has a border channel. So if you wanted to hear about the border, go to Alvin and the Chipmunks channel. But it's a 4-year power play to get the Razas vote, period. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. When you join a criminal gang, it's obvious you're not joining the boy. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. But a lot of people don't know the full commitment when they get in it, cabrón. That's the thing. They don't really know what they're signing up for. They just do it because, again, a lot of these root issues are fucking, the dad's not there. So they got to go to the streets. And next thing you know, they join the fellas. And what are the fellas going to do? Sooner or later, you're playing football with the fellas. One of your friends gets jumped on. And then when one of your friends get jumped on, guess what happens? You got to go back and you got to retaliate. So when you go back and retaliate with this group of friends, they're going to remember your face. Guess what? He's from there. And now you're all, without you wanting to get in it, you're already affiliated by association. You might as well get jumped in now because they got you now. They ain't going to give you a pass. Might as well go all in. But what I'm talking about, they don't understand is they see it as checkers, but they haven't got to the level where it's chess. Just don't go there. Half of Congress is engaged in insider trading every day. I'm telling you, the military industrial complex stocks, big pharma. Okay, let's go ahead and at least clear up this shit on January 6th, because a lot of people had commented about January 6th, January 6th. Okay, let's talk about January 6th. We already know that January 6th was a coup. We already know, no, it wasn't a bunch of right-wingers that attacked Capitol Hill and were causing all kinds of disruption, when even 45 said himself, I want there to be a peaceful transfer of power. Knowing that, hey, you lost this one, you can still get elected another one. Let's just chill, lay back, and run it. The videos came out. All of those actors were paid actors. They were let in from security. Security is walking around the Capitol Hill with these cabrones that the news that night said were hardcore right-wingers. But security is letting them in through closed doors to get access to the chambers so they can create a full disruption in the middle of like a meeting. Come on now. We're not stupid, man. Donald Trump getting ready for the biggest deportation. I don't know. I don't know, but fuck, who doesn't get deported? Let's just give thanks that we're here because our parents are already here, because our abuelitos already crossed the border, because our great abuelitos already fucking crossed the border. And when statistics show that now almost 90% of the cabrones aren't even Mexican, close that pinchy border, man. A lot of people didn't know Chavez. Okay, Cesar Chavez. Okay, some people's, this great pioneer for the United Farm Worker Movement, which here in Salinas, we got a headquarters. We got one of them. I don't know if it's a headquarters. I just know there was a lot of rallies in the 80s at this United Farm Workers here. He was saying close the border too. Now, what was crazy was, and Risky Business, he got on my ass about this, pinchy way. When I mentioned Blue Dildo, I call him the Banda world, or the Chuntaro world, or the Paisa world. Okay? Risky Business get you shouldn't be calling them that and this and that. I get it. 100%, I get your point of view. We had Cesar Chavez, the leader of the revolutionary farm workers movement. We had him call Mexicans wetbacks. He called them wetbacks. Risky Business. I know you know that already, cabron. What say you? What do you think about that? People are getting pussified nowadays. Snowflake. I agree. 100%. They need safe spaces, way. They need safe. Yo me agüito, pero I didn't want to be that disciplinarian parent, that one que, nalgadas a la chingada and all that. I try to let my children mature. But I check shit because I don't, especially my boys, so they could be men's men. That means when they get married one day, their wives will know that they're fully capable to lead the family. 100%. They're not snowflakes. But the snowflake generation comes from the left mostly. They're saying safe space. They want to take away fucking genders. They want little boys to pee with little girls. Now, something Miss Chicano Tube said that was very controversial. She said, if you're okay with boys entering the bathrooms with girls and peeing there, She goes, I would question your manhood as a man because a straight man, this is what she said, a straight man would not want that. She Miss Chicano too, man. She keeps it real, huh? She's gonna be known as the queen of controversy, the queen of controversy. I remember when men used to, yeah, not get into the Philly, bro. We should be able to talk, man. A lot of these YouTube beefs that started is all because no one wanted to pick up the pinchy phone. No one want to pick up, and then no one wants to be the one that calls, right? Because if I'm the one that calls Alvin, and he doesn't pick up the phone, then he could yap about it. This motherfucker tried to call. Da, 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 I don't want your fucking phone call. Da, da, da. And he'll say all this shit on the internet, and then we'll be like, why'd I pick up the phone? A lot of these YouTube beefs could have been settled if someone would have just picked up the fucking phone. Or if we're men, then we could throw chingazos and squash it after and have a pinchy beer. Period. But when Tony A calls out Alvin, oh, I'm not 15 anymore. Oh, you ain't 15? It's because you seen Tony A's 24-inch cuete arm and said Chale Street on. That's right. Game over. So money and benefits. So money and benefits before principal and value? Absolutely not, cabron. Oh, I know what you're saying. Good or no good. Wait, you're talking gang world politics, Wait. You're talking gang world. How much do gang world politics play into real life? How much? I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about how much does the gang politics pay your bills? How much does the gang deposit into your bank account every month? I know what you're talking about. Hey, keep it solid. Hey, keep it straight aim. I get that too. And I respect that. Again, the OGs and Salinas all wiped away. Salinas was a serious atmosphere. Motherfuckers weren't joking around over here. Motherfuckers were not joking around, clowning around. It was not that because of the people we had around us all the time. Home base, I always talk about home base. This is members only shit, but home base over here, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mob members living all around there and then coming through all the time. Mob members coming through all the time. So do you think we're just joking and laughing and no? I understand it every degree. Every degree. When they want to talk politics to me, I don't want to hear that shit. I come from the capital of politics. So believe I know, you don't have to, but just know that I know what I'm talking about. How much does no good play into you raising your family, you getting a career, you being a grown ass man, you getting up in the morning, lacing up your boots? How much does that play into effect? Not to me. Not to me. That's right. That's right. ACP, I see you, Flaco. That's right. The real world. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're good, you're not. What did you do in your past and all this other shit? It's internet bullshit, man. It ends up being a meme. It ends up being for clickbait. It ends up being for views. You know, people will do crazy shit for views, man. Crazy shit for views. Chingaderas, yeah, if I had a business. Yeah, if I had a business, who cares about paperwork? I'm just saying. I got to go all the way to the new comments, man. My bad. I probably missed 100 comments. My bad. But Brenda Love is in the casa. Brenda La Chicana, I appreciate you, amiga. If you haven't already subscribed over to Brenda Love's channel, do yourself the favor. Subscribe over to the channel, you guys. Oh, and Miss Chicano Tube is in the building. There is Miss Chicano Tube. I appreciate you, amor. I'll be in here probably in about 10, 15 minutes. And then finally be home. Again, I wasn't feeling it, gente. But when I didn't feel it, I put myself in these youngsters' shoes. These youngsters see the schedule. They can see my class is once a month. Once a month. And they'll know if I don't come the next month, they will not forget. And they'll say, Mike, you flaked. You flaked on us. Chale, the only time I've never gone in here is when they've been on lockdown. And because they were going to get off or they got off. Or the last time is because it was a 3-4 individuals came. And I'm not going to say, but they were from a gang or they're from a color bar, other side of the color bar. Let's just say that they're on the other side of the color bar. And what they do with those, because they're minimal, they're not the larger group, they're the minimal group, is they transport them at the same time. They don't just do one. They transport at the same time. So that caused the atmosphere to just, to be on, what is it called? Full 60. So the youngsters got on full 60. And then when I pulled up, they couldn't. Those are the only times I haven't been in here. Some of us are lucky we had a real woman to wait for us and stay to surprise her. Yeah, fuck. Are you telling me? Shit, I'm telling you, way, cabron. Respects to you and to Boxer. That's right. I appreciate you. That's right. Miss Chicano too saying, that's right. Brenda Love. That's right. White Fence is in the casa. White Fence is in the casa. That's right. Shout out to White Fence. Shout out to White Fence. That's right. I'm from East Los. 5 generations of White Fence. Been there, done that. Okay. I respect that. Then you know what I'm talking about. Then you would know definitely the real, what would be a real OG and what's a fake OG. Right? The fake ones are getting these youngsters caught in cases. The real ones, because we have a second chance, because the bullets flew by, because I shouldn't be breathing. I don't know how many times I should have left this earth, are trying to warn the youngsters. And that's just the difference, in my opinion. But then there's keep it real, keep it solid. I get that too. Man. I think the internet has just twisted a lot of shit up, man. The internet has twisted a lot of stuff up. What's up? LA's in the casa. That's right, my boy. LA's in the casa, man. Hit that like. Hit that pinche subscribe, man. We got weekly shows. We go live casi cada día, cabrón. We go live from Chicano Street. That's headquarters. You'll see that possibly on Sunday. If not, real soon. We'll go live from headquarters, man. Because Chicana Tube. That'd be a good name, huh? Maybe Miss Chicano Tube will start her own channel. I don't know. I've been hinting to her as starting her own segment on the platform, since we already, we're on 11,000. We're coming up on 11K, you guys. Man, in 1 year, this is the anniversary for Chicano Tube. This month right here, we're going to do a giveaway. We got to, man. We just been rompiendo through the pinche paredes, man. So I've been hinting to her to do her own segment. It could be maybe more oriented toward the ladies, because me and her are great yin and yang. But obviously the men are going to relate to the men, So when I talk, I'm really speaking to everyone in general, but I know who can relate to me are mostly the men, But I know the ladies feel safe here, because it's not one of those chats where they disrespect, or one of these pendejos that my pipa this, my pipa that, and they act like overgrown kids that are really never matured. It is what it is, right? Understand? Do you know? Chamo, Mexico, very popular Chapulín. Órale, that's right, Anderson Santos. I appreciate you, cabrón. ¿Qué hubo contigo, güey? We're on Chicano Street right here, man. Hit that like, hit that pinche subscribe, man. We do shows cada semana, cabrón. Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe, hit that pinche like, man. Mikey L, that's right. Miss Chicano too, but just know we are very grateful. Absolutely, we're grateful to have a support system. I'm not, there's a lot of, on the internet, they tell a lot of men to be independent, women to be independent. You don't need anyone. You don't need anyone. You don't need anything. Do it for yourself. I get that. But true happiness, what comes from God, and God's motto is always the family. That's just always what it is. So media naranja, media naranja. That's perfection. Mile High Hustle, send me one of the Chicano 2 BDs. I got to send you one, cabron. We're going to be doing the giveaway, though, just to let you know. Well, when I see you, before I see you, cabron. I know, because November is still 5 months, huh? I'm going to send you one. I'm going to get a couple beanies, tank tops. I don't want to forget the ladies. And we're going to do it big. So I'll download some, last time I got Cheech and Chong movies, the movie quotes, Reservoir Dogs, Carlito's Way, of course, my favorite movie in the world, Blood In, Blood Out, American Me. We'll have some quotes, and you guys will be able to win. Just win it all. And I'll just ship it all out, cabrones. That's right. Hit that like, man. Hit that pinche subscribe. Hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, hit the all, man. Shit on a resume. Can't put any. He says you can't put any of that shit on a resume. Absolutely, cabron. And unfortunately, like Loca, I had Loca on the channel, right? She went viral because she called out the bully on Jenny 69's bully. And what did Loca say? She came out todo ese pinche tiempo que hizo en la cárcel and reality hit, 0 work experience. at this point in your life, in your 40s, I think she could be 30s. I mean, she looks young, but 40s, I think. Zero work experience, they're not gonna hire you. You're gonna need to get a blue collar job. And then the way the economy is right now, 6% unemployment, almost 9% record inflation. There's more jobs than job seekers. No wonder people can't get jobs. The competition is at an all-time high. You got people with college degrees working at fast food joints. Why? To make ends meet. It's because the economy, gente. The economy has to get better. It has to get better, man. Alejandro says, do you think the mass incarceration of Raza men in the 90s created an imbalance, which is why we have Edgar's? Now, the Edgars, I don't know. Way. I don't know if the moms drink too much coffee. Way. They're all skinny. And those haircuts, a lot of people, I've seen some memes say they're actually, some people say don't make fun of the Edgar haircuts because they look like indigenous haircuts. Did you know that? I mean, I know that. I mean, Edgar. I've heard it all, but I'm saying those do look like indigenous haircuts. Do you think mass incarceration? Yeah. I mean, by 99, all Salinas was changed. The whole landscape. No one was on the streets in 99. No one was left by 99. It was there. Everyone just went away, and it's crazy. It's like a blur. Like, what the fuck happened, man? It's crazy. I run into people I haven't seen in a long time, and it's like, it's crazy. I mean, we just go back and sit back at all the madness. But as far as mass incarceration, unless I seen people on the streets rounding people up and throwing them in buses and throwing them in vans, then I wouldn't call it mass incarceration. Because isn't incarceration voluntary? I mean, don't you commit the crime to catch the case, to go in front of the judge, to get the time? Or, I mean, make it make sense. My pops was in Cheech and Chong, Nice Dreams, all from the city of Torrance. Okay, terrace or city terrace. Okay, that's right. That's right. So yeah, one of them on the last giveaway, I got some clips. One of them was Space Coke. Remember that one, Space Coke? Hey man, do this. It'll blow your mind. That was crazy. So that'll be on the sampler, but we'll do that at the giveaway. Brenda Love just took me back right now. Holy shit, amiga. Yes, I sent Brenda Love. It was the blue and gray design, right? The Salinas Report stickers back in the day, they were all over the place. Vegas, Chicano Park, and Mexicali. I appreciate you. I remember I sent you a sheet, right? She's a real supporter. She knows me from day zero. Day negative number, -10. I appreciate Brenda Love. Gracias. I mean, it's a trip. The wifey's been driving by so much in the area over there when she goes at least once or twice a year that you guys haven't sat down and had lunch. You know, I would think that you guys would have lunch, meet up, or something like that. But maybe it's in the future. Maybe it's in the cards for the future. Loca's a homegrown. She's a smart woman. Yeah, it just I hate when she, if people like that have to struggle. Like she has a good heart. She stood up on the internet and called out what Jenny 69 said was a 300-pound what'd she say? Gorilla or something like that. I don't know what she said, but she said 300-pound something. Loca called her out and went viral. And then Gold Toes went to LA and then they had dinner and all that. And she went viral. But to struggle because of no job experience is basically our fault. It's our fault. Let's not blame someone else. It's our fault. We did what we did. And do you see how that mentality was back then? I want to be someone. So you did everything you had to do to get that name you wanted. And then when you got the name you wanted, then what? Then what? Then you come home and you can't get a job. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. But a lot of people are in that situation. That is fucked up. Miss Chicano 2 is giving advice. I now advise women not to wait. What if the guy does it again? Like in the movie Felon. Remember Felon? Remember Felon? That dude, man, that pinche Gavacho and Felon, man. He just he cracked the dude with the baseball bat, a robber, a burglar. So when he cracked him with the baseball bat, they gave him a GBI. They gave him 3 years. Well, on the bus that he was on, they did a pegada. Since they did a pegada, they were close to Corcoran. They laid over in Corcoran and threw some of those cabrones in the shoe. This Gavacho, who was the head of a construction company, head foreman of a construction company, he cracked the dude, goes in there, catches the bus. Now he's in the Corcoran shoe, and he turned into a monster. It was crazy because you have to do sometimes what you have to do. He had to survive in there at all costs. His main focus was survival. He didn't go out ass backward. He didn't go out PC. He didn't rat. He didn't not turn his lights on. He didn't go up to the podium or whatever, right? Or go to medical and not come back. He just did what he had to do to survive because he didn't know no better. And he was getting visits from his wife. And he got a court date after either they did a removal or something. I think it was an aggravated charge con un pedazo. They gave him 3 years. And on top of the 3 years, they gave him an additional 3 years for like gang association or something like that. 6 years. Then when he got back home, the mom was arguing with the wife. You got to leave him. And she was like, don't end up like me. So what Miss Chicano Tube is saying is you never know. You wait 6. I know one instance. And she's a friend of mine. And she waited 7 or 8. She did 7 or 8 and waited. And then the fucking guy cheated on her when he came home. So there's those instances también that are, come on now. I mean, come on. Talk about a fucking slap in the face, man. We plan to soon. Oh, okay. Are you guys gonna have lunch pretty soon? I'm just saying she's crossing over the Chicali border right there. Ahí debes estar, right? I know Vallero's over there. That's my graphic designer. I should pull over one day. We should all have lunch. Me, Miss Chicano Tube, Brenda Love, and Vallero, who is the graphic designer who came out with the poster of posters. Shout out to you, Vallero, for the poster from with Paradigm and Mile High Hustle. My boy, get at him on IG for all of your designs, gente. He did the Chicano Tube logo, which I trademarked because I knew some pendejos would probably want. As soon as we dropped Chicano Tube, a lot of pendejos might want to fucking start snatching shit up. So I trademarked it. It only cost $350, and it's about a year to get the final draft, the final paper that says official. He did the banner. He did the last logo. He's the man, and he's done every single fight poster. So if you need design, gente, don't hesitate. Go to IG and go to Brown Pride Clothing. But yeah, that'd be great if we had lunch. Why not? Lo único que no me gusta es la manejada, amiga. We're 8.5 hours from the border. We're not close. The gente from LA, they go down there, si quieren el fin de semana, to eat tacos and drive back up. I'm jealous of that. We're 8.5 hours. Yes, ma'am. That's right. Yes, ma'am. I'm looking at my wife. I've been out 22 years, married 22 years. Okay. That's right, cabron. That's right, man. So there's those stories of those instances where she trusted her heart and in the end was right. And so it's full circle. Like, okay, fuck, okay. You know what I mean? Now it's full circle. You see, she sees you getting up every day, lacing the boots up, getting the man hours in, doing what you got to do. And so that's where it pays off. That's where I feel like I need to thank the district attorney. Thank the district attorney for saying the poster boy of gangs and all that shit. Thank the district attorney because maybe if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have snapped out of it, man. Snapped out of it. If we do the crime, but at the same time, I believe laws were created at the time give us longer, harsher. Yeah, but the laws are changing. Wait, they're giving slaps on the hands now for cuetes. They reduced all. They're giving drug charges. They're kicking them out. OR, community service. They're not sticking everyone in. The laws have changed dramatically. Now, that doesn't mean go on a bender and fucking do what you know. No, it doesn't mean that. But it's not no more 3 strikes. Wait, I mean, come on. In '94 when that passed, yeah, they were striking people off for anything. They're 2 timers. They're striking people out. Now I remember what some in one instance for me they struck the strike and they did that, and I don't know what the hell they do. These are just deals back in the day. I don't even know if they still do that, strike the strike and all this other shit. Miss Chicano Tube is in the building. You guys, I got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes and we're going to wrap up this live, man. We're 50 deep, 50 strong in the casa. Hit that pinche like, hit that subscribe. The most important work that I do is about to happen right now, which is going inside this camp and talking to these youngsters. And again, these are hardcore youngsters. I mean, they're hardcore. These are youngsters that get written up all the time. They get sent back to juvenile hall for a fade. If it's aggravated GBI, they get a referral. And since YA is closed, you know what they'll do? They'll hold them in the hall and transfer them to the county. That's what they're doing now. They'll hold them in the hall and they'll transfer them to the county jail. It's crazy. And now you actually have adults in here. This is a juvenile facility, but remember, they brought back the youngsters from YA. So there's adults in this facility because, like Alvin, he was 24 years old, and he was with 14-year-olds. I'm just saying, it's the truth, right? But just like Sonny said, back in the 90s, they were sending us as 16 years old on the bus. And if Alvin did what Sonny's saying, I want to see the paperwork about, he would have damn sure landed at least on a level 3. I mean, damn sure. So I think he said that, and now he's hiding his paperwork so no one can call him out because I think he has an ego issue. I think it's self-esteem, but he slipped up. I think that paperwork's gonna come out one day. I don't know. Shout out to my homeboy Vio. Is that right? Have you guys met in real life? Now I message him all the time, so I know he's doing good. I used to message him all the time. Hey, stay out, cabron, stay out. I'll be like, stay out. And he was like, I'm going to stay out. I'm staying out. I'm doing good. And good, cabron. If you're listening, Vallero, stay out. I'm sending business, cabron, to you. Brown Pride Clothing on IG, gente. Well, we'll wrap it up. One of my best friends left her husband the moment he went away for selling drugs. She remarried a good man. I'm happy for her, proud of her, self-love. Absolutely. You just don't know. It could be a gamble. It could be a risk. Now, I'm glad I never gravitated to someone that was going to enable me to do that. I'm not saying, everyone got a soulmate. Everyone got a soulmate. But I'm just saying, I'm glad that didn't happen to me because what my life would have been if I didn't have Miss Chicano Tube pumping my brakes. Telling me, snap out of it. And I didn't want to. I wanted to hold on because I loved it all. I loved everything. And then all of a sudden, I said, it was all for nothing, man. What do I got? Nothing. What do they give me? Nothing. That's right. Happy 1977 girls. Wrenched up in the casa. I appreciate you, amiga. Don't forget to hit that like. That's right, you guys. We just got home. Oh, congratulations, amiga Brenda Love. Wow, that's great, amiga. I'm so proud of you, amiga. You're a hustler. You're a hustler. I think I see some IG stories. You were fixing up the landscaping not too long ago, right? Is that the house? Or are you talking about a newer house? Regardless, congratulations, amiga. You're a hustler. You are a hustler. Low power mode. Okay, my phone's about to die, gente. That's right. Good live, Mike. Okay, you guys. That's right. I appreciate you, Flaco. That's right. My boy, Big Al's in the casa. Houston 713. Rasa's in here. You guys, I'm gone. I got to get to this gate by 7:15 to 7:12, you guys. I'll speak to the youngsters for about an hour. This is the most important work that I do. If I had to choose one thing in life, something that's fruitful to do, it would be going inside the institutions and talking to the youngsters, man. So they can hear the things that I'm telling you on live. It's not worth it. There's nothing there. What is it? The guy said in colors, there's no future in it, vato. All right, you guys, hit that pinche like. We'll be back real soon. Of course, we're going to do the giveaway live real soon, you guys. I'm going to end it right here. 50 strong, 50 deep in the house. Hit that pinche like. But remember what I always say, mi firme, linda raza. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Make as many memories as possible because in the end, that's all you got. Before we see the Lord, gente, all the memories are going to flash right by your face. So did you make memories or you didn't? Make those memories. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Many more episodes coming soon. But remember what I always say? In the end, all you got is the memories.